This is part 5 of the game from the latest One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. In this video we will enter entry to the New World arc. 2 years have passed and Luffy retrieves his hat just as Hancock and the Kuja pirates arrive to take him back to Sabaody Archipelago. Luffy displayed some of his strengths when he shows that he made friends with the wildlife and warns the animals not to hurt his friends. Hancock is even more infatuated with Luffy, though he tells her that he is not marrying her. With that, he places the hat on his head and prepares to leave Usukaya. The scene then changes to Sabaody Archipelago, which has become much more lawless due to Marineford having switched locations to an area in the New World and their old base now being a common marine base called G1 that used to be on the other side of the Red Line. Rumors of the Straw Hats suddenly reappearing and recruiting new members have circulated. It is then we go to Brook, now a superstar touring the Grand Line as Soul King. The Long-Arm tribe that captured him are now his managers. Sabaody is the final stop in Brook's tour, as well as his farewell concert to his fans. Next, Sanji is seen arriving with some of the Okama. Right after he sets foot on the island, he is overjoyed to see real women again, even crying. He gives the Okama a quick goodbye, while also flipping it off, thanking them for bringing him to Sabaody and telling them to give Iva his best before he runs off to try to find Nami and Robin. Meanwhile in a bar, a woman is talking with the bartender about what's happened with Marineford. The talk is interrupted when a shot rings out, coming from a bunch of pirates who claim to be the Straw Hat Pirates. Those pirates, however, do not even resemble the Straw Hat Pirates at all. In another part of the island, Robin, who has recently arrived, finds that she's being tracked by some unknown men, as well as confused at Brook having a concert and the Straw Hats recruiting new members. In Grove 47, Tony Chopper is seen following after whom he thinks is Zoro and Sanji, but in reality is more of the fake Straw Hats. This bunch comprised of the former two as well as the Robin and Chopper, who are a short woman and Fox respectively. Meanwhile in G1, the rumors of the Straw Hats reach the Marine's ears. The Vice Admiral there quickly deploys his troops to the island. Back on Sabaody, fake Luffy has shot an innocent bystander thinking it was Nami and Usopp. When her friend protests why Luffy or Lafia would do that, he is shot as well. The fake Luffy orders his crew to find the real Nami and Usopp, but is suddenly knocked down by the figure from before. The said figure apologizes to him and starts to head off, but fake Luffy calls out to him. The figure turns around to answer him and we find out it is actually the real Luffy in disguise. Back on the Thousand Sunny, newly refurbished, Nami, Usopp and Chopper meet up with the rest of the crew. Usopp holds Chopper as he gawks at the new upgrades on Frankie, who now sports concealable hands within his giant ones and a hair frizz feature. Nami is overjoyed to see the real Robin again and, to a sharp extent, the real Frankie. Rayleigh and Shaggy show up. Shaggy updates the current crew on deck where the others are in the situations on the archipelago. Rayleigh heads to Nami intent on teaching her how to navigate a coded ship. Usopp, worried since Luffy has not shown up, asks about him. Rayleigh replies with a smile on his face that Luffy has already disembarked. Meanwhile, in Grove 33, one of the Marines report in that they are unable to capture Brook as the crowd has held them back and the musician had run off during the chaos. We soon find that he was with the Flying Fish Riders, who comment that Shaggy told them to pick him up. Brook is more than grateful and excited to reunite with the Straw Hats. In Grove 41, Frankie contacts Sanji with Zoro, telling him where to meet up. When Zoro asks what's going on, Sanji slowly spells it out for him, causing a brief argument. However, it's interrupted when they notice some noise coming from a nearby island. In Grove 46, the fake Luffy is about to sick his pirates on the real Luffy, commenting that it'll serve as a warning to whomever crosses him, while Luffy asks fake Zoro and fake Sanji if he, fake Luffy, is a friend of theirs. Before anything can happen, the Marines arrive and surround the pirates, ordering fake Luffy's surrender. Fake Luffy orders Caribou and Corby to use the Marine they wounded earlier as a shield to make an exit. Caribou however comments that it's too tall an order and kills the Marine right then and there, claiming it was punishment for lying about not calling the Marines. Luffy manages to jump away as the other pirates are caught in the blast. However, his disguise is knocked off, revealing himself to everyone in the area. The fakes foam at the mouth when they realize they had actually threatened the real deal. The Marine quickly runs in while Sentamaru confronts Luffy, ordering his Pachifista to fire another shot. Luffy, however, dodges the blast and goes into gear second, then takes to the air and hits the Pachifista as it tries to fire again, knocking it out in one hit. Everyone is shocked by the feat, Sentamaru especially, as he noticed that Luffy had Haki equipped. As Luffy leaves the area, he sees the real Zoro and Sanji running towards him. However, another Pachifista gets in their way and prepares to fire. But both instantly hit at their attacks, both cutting and breaking Pachifista's neck in the process. The pirates soon realize that these straw hats are indeed the real deal. As Zoro and Sanji prepare to exit the area, they notice Luffy has not moved yet. Luffy yells out to Rayleigh, who is on a far-off hill observing the area and making sure Luffy was alright. Luffy thanks him for everything for the last 2 years and yells that he is gonna be the Pirate King. The pirates are left speechless while Sanji, Zoro and Rayleigh just smile, the latter with tears in his eyes. The Marine's closing in snaps Luffy back to attention and he continues to run, thanking Rayleigh one more time. Rayleigh, remembering their training together, tells Luffy to go straight for the top. Back in Grove 42, Brook has reunited with the other Straw Hats on 1000 Sunny, immediately asking to see Nami's panties once on board, and once more getting kicked for his trouble. Chopper soon arrives back, having gone on to get Luffy, Zoro and Sanji using the boat from Torino Kingdom. The group is more than overjoyed to see their captain after so long. Sanji is especially happy to see Nami and Robin, so much so that he gets a gushing nosebleed which Usopp ordered Chopper to fix. Frankie opens the valves under the ship, letting air into the coating jelly and extending it, turning it into a giant dome that covers Sunny's deck. As it does, Usopp notices that no Marines from the mainland are chasing him anymore. It is soon explained why the Straw Hats' allies from during their separation are keeping the Marines at bay. Heracles uses giant horn beetles against them, wishing Usopp luck on his journey. As all this goes on, Nami explains how coating works, telling the crew it works against water pressure but the ship will no longer be buoyant. Once the floating bag is removed, the ship will sink. Frankie then removes the bag and Nami order everyone to raise the sail, much to Usopp's confusion. Though Robin explains that the underwater currents work like wind on a coated ship. Once Luffy is told they are ready to leave, he thanks the crew for putting up with his selfish wish for the last 2 years. With that, the 1000 Sunny heads underwater. The crew on the Marine ship frantically try to get their captain to go after them, but he too smitten by Hancock to notice. Luffy then gives the order to set sail and the Straw Hats, reunited after 2 years, continue their journey to the New World. Their next stop, Fishman Island.
海賊がいるみたいね。サニー号に向かう前にいただいちゃおうかしら。
ナミのやつ相変わらずみてえだな。ま、金はある分には困らねえか。
海賊狩りのゾロ、生きていたんだ。捕らえろ。船を探してるだけだって次から次へと海軍が現れやがる。
あれはゾロかしら。 早く合流しないと騒ぎが大きくなって海軍だらけになるわ。
最高のラストライブだったぜマネージャー。今までありがとう。待てブルック、引退されちゃ商売上がったりなんだよ。
ブルックが誰かに追われてるみたい。早く助けてあげた方が良さそうね。
久しぶり。もうみんなサニー号に集まってるの？このくらいにしとこうかしら。そろそろサニー号へ向かわないとね。
この島には本物のレディーが生息してる。I need ready。 待っててナミさん、ロビンチュワ
うわー、3時か。サニー号には向かってるみてえだが様子がおかしいぞ。
麦わらの一味、未だ捕獲できません。2年前とは比べ物にならない強さです。
当然だ。奴らを舐めすぎてねえか。とにかく倍が行くまで耐えろ。
あれは生身の美女。
海賊麦わらの一味を確認しました。至急応援を願います。
救出しないと手遅れになるわ。
終わり。俺は一体こうしちゃいられねえ。サニー号に急ごう。サニー号は見えねえ。こっちじゃなかったか。
あれはロビンチュワーン。久しぶり。集まってるか。
お前がいなけりゃうちの会社は終わりだ。一緒にくたばろうぜソウルキング。
ちょっとやばいですって助立ち感謝しますよお久しぶりですねなんとお懐かしい皆様ではナミさん2年ぶりにパンツ見せてもらってよろしいでしょうか
2年前も見せたことないわよ。
ゾロを一人にしない方が良さそう。また迷子になったら困るし。
そっちに船はねえって。サニー号はあっちだ。もう迷うなよ。
海軍の意地を見せてやる。なんだ、意外に近いじゃねえか。
ゾロ一人じゃたどり着けてねえだろ。送り届けてくれて助かった。
ちょっとたくましくなっちゃって。
そうだぜ。悪いが俺はおめえとチョッパーとの弱小トリオは卒業だ。何が起きてももう動じねえ。そんな戦士に俺はなったのさ。エポール
久しぶりじゃねえか。見違えたな。あ全員揃ったようだな。急いでサニー号に乗り込め。
まだだ。逃がさねえぞ麦わらの一味。ワイは麦わらを追う。お前らは全員港へ向かって出港を阻止しろ。
あの兵器こっちを目指してくるわよ。
さっさと大将を倒さねえと船を出せねえな。
攻撃準備完了。
攻撃を始めよったか。わらわが止めてやろう。
本気で行く。2年前と違う。ワイは正式に海兵になる。お前をここで捕らえる。
2年前と変わったのはこっちだって同じだ。
こいつ覇気をまとっている。
誰じゃわらわの通り道に砲弾を撃ち込むのは。
海賊女帝、撃ち方やめ
ほんじゃな、お前とはまたどっかで会いそうな気がする。
The Straw Hats and Trafalgar Law, having formed an alliance and captured Caesar Clown, travel with Kinnaman to Dressrosa. There, in the second stage of their plan, they aim to take down the nation's king, the Shishibukai Dunkwitsat Doflamingo. However, they soon set into motion a series of world-changing events, as their actions interact unexpectedly with those of larger forces at play. After Doflamingo resigned from the Shishibukai, islands across the world fell into chaos as they prepared to lose the support of his underworld businesses. At the new Marine headquarters, Randy talked about the potential instability created by Doflamingo's resignation and Law's possible expulsion from the Shishibukai. And Sakazuki responded that he had sent Fujitora to deal with Luffy and Law's alliance. Doflamingo called the Straw Hats and Law arranged to return Caesar Clown at 3 p.m. on Greenbid. During the call, Doflamingo hinted to Luffy that he had something that the Straw Hat would like to get. Afterwards, Law revealed that Caesar's return would be a cover for their planned destruction of the Smile Factory on Dressrosa, the location of which remained unknown. The alliance then aimed, and Kinnaman revealed that his comrade Kanjuro had been captured while helping him lead Dressrosa to go after Momonosuke, and he wanted to rescue Kanjuro while on Dressrosa. On Dressrosa, the Donkwitsat pirates were lounging as the citizens were still in a panic over Doflamingo's abdication of his throne. Inside the palace, Doflamingo spoke to his three executives Treble, Pico, and Diamante, unveiling the Maramara no Mi which he entrusted to Diamante in order to lure Luffy into a trap in the Colosseum. The Straw Hats and their allies made it to Dressrosa, and disembarked as they went over the plain. Law, Usopp, and Robin planned to take Caesar to Greenbit, and Law gave the Sunny Protection Team the Beaver card to get to Zoe, where his crew was. The protection team consisted of Nami, Chopper, Brook, Momonosuke, and Sanji, although Sanji had gone into town with the factory destruction and samurai rescue team. They gazed at the bustling streets, where humans coexisted alongside living tourists. There were also passionate dancers that romanced men before stabbing them. The team then went to a restaurant, and Sanji noted that everyone seemed calm despite Doflamingo's abdication. The team then spotted a blind man being swindled at a roulette wheel by some of the Donkwitsat pirates, and Luffy went to expose their deception. The pirates attacked Luffy, but the blind man responded by unleashing a crushing force that sent the pirates plummeting into a hole. The blind man then left the restaurant, and Luffy asked who he was, but the man responded that it was better for both their sakes that he not answer. Soon afterwards, Zoro noticed that Shusui was missing as the citizens noted that the fairies had come to pickpocket some things. Unwilling to accept the loss of his sword, Zoro spotted it and chased after the fairy, and Sanji and Kinemon pursued him. Luffy chased after him as well, but Frankie held him back, having gotten the idea to get information about the Smile Factory. They interrogated one of the pirates that the blind man had attacked in the alley, but he claimed no knowledge of the factory's whereabouts. He said the higher-ranking members who knew would be gathered in the Corrida Coliseum today, as a tournament was being held with the Marinomi as the prize. People had come from all over the world to win it, but would have to face the Dalin Quixote pirates Mishrais, Dalinger, Lao Ji, and Samuel Pink as well as the hero of the Coliseum Diamante. Luffy wanted to get Ace's devil fruit for himself, and Frankie encouraged him to do so as they headed for the Coliseum. The duo approached the Coliseum, where they saw the one-legged toy Thunder Soldier being chased by police. The soldier went into the Coliseum, which authorities were barred from entering, before going to talk to Luffy and Frankie. Luffy entered in the Coliseum, where he donned the nickname Lucy. As he mingled with all the other gladiators, he was confronted by a man named Spartan, who thought he was a weakling and tried forcing him out. However, Luffy responded by flipping Spartan over and defeating him. The authorities nearly expelled Luffy afterwards, but Sai, Fu, and Don Xinjiao of the Xinjiao family intervened, explaining that Luffy was acting in self-defense. Luffy then went to try on some armor, but put on too much, and as he took it off he met the pirate Cavendish. Luffy nearly revealed his real name to Cavendish, who revealed that he held a grudge against the members of the worst generation for stealing his fame. Luffy then looked at a statue of a gladiator named Kairos, and the gladiator Rebecca revealed that Kairos had supposedly won 3,000 battles without being defeated, although no one knew who he was. She revealed that she intended to win the Marinomi and take down Doflamingo, and having taken a liking to Luffy, she wished for them to meet in the second round. Right then, the A-block battle finished after having just started, and the winner took off the paper bag on his head to reveal that he was Jesus Burgess. After the A-block battle, Frankie went to continue the mission to locate the Smile Factory, and Thunder Soldier tagged along with him. The blind man also departed from the Coliseum, and was revealed to be the Marine Admiral Fujitora. Fujitora prepared to go to Greenbit, and also wanted to look into the amount of people on Dressrosa in case any innocents were injured. Inside the Coliseum, an undercover Marine listed the wanted pirates present to Vice Admiral Maynard, who was undercover as the contestant Catman. Maynard was then approached by Gambia of the Bardo Club, and easily took down the pirate. As the B-block battle was about to begin, however, Gambia's captain Bartolomeo defeated Maynard as he headed for the arena. Bartolomeo was greeted with boos from the crowd, but also in B-block was the popular Bellamy, who had given Doflamingo a gold pillar in a declaration of loyalty. And winning this tournament would grant him officer status in the Quixote Pirates. As Bellamy headed to the arena, he first approached Luffy, having recognized him. Bellamy said that his goal was to join Doflamingo and that he no longer had enmity toward Luffy before walking away. The B-block battle then began, and the strategist Agama formed an alliance to protect Elisabello II, the king of the Prodence Kingdom. As he was protected, Elisabello warmed up his king punch, a punch strong enough to blast through a fortress. Bellamy took on Tank Lepanto, the commander of Dressrosa's army, and the former bounty hunters Abdullah G, the Fishman Hack, the long-legged Blue Gilly, and the mysterious fighter Rikudo Dofurki emerged as strong contenders as well. One man in the audience found Ricky's fighting style to be familiar, and as the fighting raged on and gladiators were sent falling into fighting fish-infested waters, Bartolomeo lay on the edge of the ring, relaxed. As Luffy and Cavendish watched the battle, Xinjiao suddenly came up to them, exposing Luffy's real identity as he revealed that he had a grudge against Garp, which he wished to carry out on his descendants as well. Cavendish wished to kill Luffy as well, and the three got into a brief scuffle before Sai and Boo stopped their grandfather to prevent his disqualification. Cavendish wanted to continue attacking Luffy, but Luffy hid by hanging off a ledge. The number of fighters in B-block went down to 30 as some top fighters began to fall. In the midst of this, Bartolomeo urinated off the side of the arena, and was confronted by Hack. However, Hack broke his hand on a mysterious force and fell to the ground, defeated. Dagama and Blue Gilly then broke the formation around Elisabello as they betrayed the people in it, but Blue Gilly took down Dagama as well. Bellamy was struggling against Bartolomeo when Elisabello prepared to unleash his King Punch, and he threw it, unleashing a monstrous force that annihilated the entire arena. As the dust settled, only Bartolomeo remained, having created a barrier to block the punch with the Bari Bari Momi. Bartolomeo then crashed his barrier into Elisabello, defeating him and winning B-Block. Afterwards, Bellamy talked with Luffy while he was being carried away on a stretcher, and Bartolomeo overheard Bellamy saying Luffy's name. In a northeastern cafe, the Caesar Return team looked at the bridge to Green Bit. Even though it was made of iron, the waters nearby were surrounded by fighting fish and no one who had went across the bridge recently had ever returned. Law planned to head to Green Bit regardless, and expressed concern about the peaceful climate around the island when Robin suddenly noticed agents of CP0, the strongest Cypher agency. Walking past, she said that nothing good happened when they were around. The team then ventured across the bridge, with Usopp, Robin, and Caesar defending against the fighting fish while Law saved his energy for the return journey. They then came to a chasm in the bridge, where they saw a fighting fish being caught in a net by an unseen group of people. They forced Caesar to fly them the rest of the way to Green Bit, and once they reached it, they noticed a marine ship that crashed into the island. Law had Robin and Usopp scout out the island's heavy forestation while he prepared to hand over Caesar to Doflamingo. Sanji caught up to Zoro as he was chasing the ferry, when he noticed a beautiful woman named Violet dancing on stage. Zoro ran off while he was distracted, and as Sanji looked around, Violet suddenly came up to him and asked him to hold her. She kissed him as the police raced by looking for her, and Sanji was overcome with passion. Violet said that she was being chased for stabbing a man, and asked Sanji to accompany her to the next town and also to help her kill a man. As they traveled, a sniper tried to shoot them, but Sanji flew up and defeated him. However, Violet later attacked Sanji as she revealed herself to be an assassin for the Dunkwixot pirates. She prepared to look into Sanji's mind to find out the Straw Hat's purpose on Dressrosa, but was repulsed by his lecherous thoughts. Sanji stated that he knew Violet was telling the truth when she asked him to kill a man for her, believing that she did not really want to be with Doflamingo. Taken aback, Violet took down her crewmates with whale-shaped tears before telling Sanji to run. By letting him glimpse into her mind, she revealed that Doflamingo never resigned from the Shishibukai or abdicated his throne, which CP0 had revealed to the citizens earlier. She told him to get his crew off the island, and Sanji contacted Law about Doflamingo's deception. However, it was too late, as Doflamingo and a group of Marines led by Fujitora confronted Law on the coast of Green Bit. Inside the Green Bit forest, Robin and Usopp overheard an exchange between a group of Marines and an unseen people. The Marines refused to hand over their weapons, and were stripped. Robin then caught one of the people with her hands, realizing they were most likely dwarves. She saw the dwarf she caught, Kabu, but then the other dwarves knocked her and Usopp out with tranquilizer gas. They were split up, and when Usopp woke up, he claimed to be a descendant of Mont Blanc Noland, a hero of the dwarves who had visited Green Bit 400 years ago. Robin woke up in the Tontata Kingdom, stitched to the ground with Leo's Nui Nui no Mi power as the dwarves of the Tontata tribe searched her. She claimed to mean no harm, and the dwarves instantly believed her due to the vulnerability. Leo introduced her to the King Goncho, but told Robin they would need to take her weapons. Since she had no weapons, the dwarves prepared to strip her, but they were stopped by Flapper, who revealed that Robin was Usopp's friend. Robin appeared to Law, having heard Sanji's call, and she planned to go to the port with Usopp. Across the world, people received the news correcting the report about Doflamingo. Law wondered how Doflamingo was able to do something like this, saying that only world nobles should have this ability, but he recalled what Virgo said on Punk Hazard about Doflamingo's past. Law refused to hand over Caesar, and Fujitora asked him about the Straw Hats. Law could keep his Shishibukai status if they were his subordinates, but he stated that they were allies, causing Fujitora to revoke his status and send a meteor falling on him. Law, Doflamingo, and Fujitora protected themselves from the meteor, destroying the ground around them except their footholds as they prepared to battle. Meanwhile, Kinemon was confronted by some Dongquixote pirates who recognized him. Elsewhere, Zoro caught up to the ferry and grabbed Shusui on top of a building, but was flung off the roof and was hit by a falling millstone. However, he spotted and caught the fairy who had stolen his sword. The fairy was actually Wicca the Tontata, who told him to take her to her commander on the Flower Hill. She revealed that she had seen the Dongquixote pirates go to attack the sun, and Zoro initially raced toward the sun, but with no ability to get there. He was forced to go along with Wicca to the flower field. As he ran, he discovered that Doflamingo's crew had been keeping tabs on them the entire time. Inside the Colosseum corridor, Frankie found out that Thunder Soldier had been planning to destroy the Smile Factory as well with his comrades. However, the soldier's first mission was to rescue the people working in it, and he offered to tell Frankie about Dressrose's history. The duo ran out of the Colosseum, and Rebecca spotted them as she yelled out to Thunder Soldier, saying she would win and that they would live together afterwards. As the C-block battle began in the Colosseum, Frankie contacted Sanji about their status. Sanji saw Luffy fighting in the Colosseum, and Violet gave him a map to the Smile Factory as her subordinates approached them, before running off and agreeing to reunite at the Western Court. Kinemon then reunited with Sanji, asking him to take down the Dongquixote pirates pursuing him. Sanji did so, and Kinemon asked him to accompany him to the toy house where Kanshuro was being held. As mentioned by Violet, the factory was located behind the toy house. Sanji decided to wait, as Marines were crawling around the Colosseum. Led by Vice Admiral Bastille, they were waiting for the gladiators to come out, but to Bastille's surprise, not a single one from A or B block had done so. In the Koita Colosseum, Ricky refused treatment for his injuries when he encountered Rebecca, who encouraged him to have them treated. Ricky recognized Rebecca, silently apologizing to her. Elsewhere, Bellamy received a second chance to become a Dongquixote pirate's officer by assassinating Luffy, and Bartolomeo approached Cavendish, advising him to not go after Luffy. In the arena, the giant Hydrodine was a dominant force whilst Luffy had tamed the ferocious fighting bull, nicknaming it Uzi. Uzi ran into Hydrodine, who smashed it to the ground, but Luffy responded by jumping up and knocking out the giant with a single punch. The Chinjao family, the Long-Arm Ideo, the bounty hunter Jean Ango, and the brothers Kelly and Bobby Funk also emerged as strong contenders, and Boo attacked the Funk brothers. Only for Bobby to wear Kelly like a jacket using the latter's Jake no Mi and pummel Boo. However, Sai avenged his brother as he defeated the Funk brothers with his Hashoken technique. Meanwhile, Jean Ango stole Luffy's helmet while Chinjao charged at Luffy, and Jean stated that he was hunting everyone who had perpetrated the escape from level 6 of Impel Down 2 years ago. However, Chinjao stared Jean Ango down, allowing Luffy to reclaim his helmet before Chinjao headbutted Jean out of the ring. Luffy and Chinjao then charged at each other, knocking out the clashing Sai and Ideo in the process, before meeting in a clash of Hoshoku Haki that knocked everyone else out of the ring. As Luffy and Chinjao fought, Chinjao began getting emotional as Luffy brought forth memories of his past. They traded blows, but Luffy managed to hit Chinjao with Hawk Rifle. Chinjao claimed that Luffy and the worst generation had no chance of conquering the New World, and Luffy propelled himself into the air as Chinjao remembered his past. 30 years ago, he stashed large amounts of treasure in the jewel ice sheet, which could only be broken by his pointed head. One day he confronted Garp, who smashed his pointed head flat and rendered him unable to access his treasure, leaving him with his grudge against Garp. Chinjao met Luffy in a final clash, and Luffy hit him in the head, causing it to become pointed again. Chinjao was defeated and fell, and his head caused the ring to split in half. Luffy won the C-block battle, and Burgess recognized him. After the fight, Cavendish attacked Luffy while Bartolomeo cut the tongues of some people who were speaking ill of Luffy, as he had greatly admired the Straw Hat ever since seeing him at Log Jam. Chinjao then approached Luffy, thanking him for restoring his head. Luffy ran and Jinjai's head with the ground dog belly, and Rebecca put him away. As they headed off, Luffy ran into Burgess, who was speaking with Blackbeard. Luffy told Blackbeard that he would win Ace's devil fruit before heading off to a food stand. Since he had no money, Rebecca bought lunch for Luffy and took him to the gladiator's cell to hide. As they sat, Luffy was suddenly grabbed by the gladiators inside the cell, and Rebecca attacked him. Luffy overpowered her, but forgave her because she bought him food. He met the convict gladiators inside the cell, who were forced to fight 1,000 Colosseum battles for standing up against Doflamingo. The fights had become more brutal and violent since Doflamingo took power, and as the Thunder Soldier aimed to take down Doflamingo, Rebecca wished to win the tournament and take down Doflamingo to protect the toy after he had protected her for so long. Rebecca then headed out for the D-Block battle, remembering her past with the soldier. She had lived with her mother, but when the Don Quixote pirates took over Dressrosa, they went into hiding and her mother was killed. The soldier brought Rebecca's mother to her and offered to protect her. Despite Rebecca initially refusing, the soldier stayed by her side as she grew up, getting a house for her and even becoming wanted when saving her from being sold into slavery. He also taught her how to fight, and Rebecca now wished to repay him as she entered the ring to the sound of booing from the crowd, who hated her for being descended from the former King Rikudo III. Cavendish silenced the crowd, telling them to get down and fight Rebecca themselves if they hated her. The D-Block battle then began. In the Tontata Kingdom, Usopp and Robin ate with the dwarves, and Robin found out about Usopp's deception. The dwarves were overjoyed to have Usopp with them on the day they planned to take down Doflamingo, and asked Usopp to lead them on the front lines. On Dressrosa, Thunder Soldier told Frankie that humans and toys were segregated at night, and they saw a toy who claimed to be the boyfriend of a woman named Estelle. The toy was diagnosed with human sickness and thrown into the scrap heap. Frankie and the soldier then met a toy dog named One Coco, who revealed that he was once a human named Milo and the woman and boy he was playing with were his wife and son. The son said he had no father, and Thunder Soldier revealed to Frankie that all the toys were once humans who were transformed by a devil fruit user who came within 10 years ago, causing them to be forgotten by the people of Dressrosa. The soldier said he would say more once he and Frankie reached the Flower Hill. Back in the Tontata Kingdom, Leo revealed to Usopp that the dwarves were going against Doflamingo to rescue their 500 comrades, including their Princess Mancheri, from captivity in the Smile Factory, which was located underneath the Corrida Coliseum. The Tontatas, Usopp, and Robin then headed for Dressrosa in an underground tunnel on insect and fox steeds. Gancho talked to Robin and Usopp, revealing that the history between the dwarves and Don Quixote family actually went back 900 years. Frankie and Thunder Soldier arrived at a cave underneath the flower field, where Zoro was with some of the dwarves, who revealed that Usopp had come to lead them. After the rest of the Tontatas had arrived with Robin and Usopp, Thunder Soldier went over the plan to depose Doflamingo, and Usopp looked for a chance to run away. Outside, Zoro and Rika went to help the Sunny team when they ran into Sanji and Kinemon near the Coliseum. Zoro told the two what was happening, and Violet reappeared, revealing that the Sunny was under attack and heading for Green Bit. Sanji went to rescue the Sunny, leaving Kinemon with the Vivo card Violet gave him, and Zoro and Kinemon looked for a way to break into the Coliseum and rescue Luffy. Sanji rode toward Greenbit with Violet, who revealed the high marine presence around the coast of the island. In the Dressrosa Royal Palace, Gladius of the Don Quixote pirates became enraged as he became more certain that Violet had betrayed them. On the Sunny, the protection team played with Momonosuke when they suddenly heard noises coming from inside the ship. An attacking party led by Gyoa of the Don Quixote pirates attacked the ship to take it over and kidnap Momonosuke, and Gyoa turned the team into living art with the Auto no Mi. The team escaped the Sunny, which Gyoa turned into a piece of art as well. On Green Bit, Law was overwhelmed by Doflamingo and Fujitora, and wondered why Nami was not answering the Den Mushi. The Sunny team tried attacking Gyoa, but she continued overwhelming them with Law powers. Chopper then picked up Law's call, and Law told them to head to Green Bit to retrieve Caesar. Doflamingo told him to hand over Caesar's heart, revealing that he had trapped Luffy in the Colosseum. On the Sunny, Luffy acted like he was on Viola's side as the ship went to Greenbit, and Viola put the others in a mural to suffocate them. However, when Brook got Viola to restore his king and violin, he defeated her in one cut and freed his crewmates. On Greenbit, Law was defeated and Doflamingo took what he thought was Caesar's heart. The Shichibukai then revealed to Law that 20 royal families founded the world government and 19 of them moved to Merengialize 800 years ago. The Dongwixop family was one of the 19, and the Riku family took over Dressrosa afterwards. On the Sunny, the Straw Hats attacked Viola as they wondered why Law was giving Caesar back to them, and Viola revealed Doflamingo's deception to them. Law heard Nami striking Viola with a thunderbolt, and revealed to Doflamingo that the heart he had was not Caesar's. In this confusion, Law teleported himself away, grabbed Caesar, and ran toward the bridge to Dressrosa. Seeing the Sunny, he planned to throw Caesar there from the bridge and keep Doflamingo distracted while the Straw Hats escaped. However, the Sunny team cried out as they came under attack by fighting fish, and Doflamingo noticed them as he flew toward the Sunny. As he prepared to attack, however, he was met in midair by Sanji. Doflamingo quickly overpowered Sanji and immobilized him, but before he could deal the killing blow, Law used Shambles to teleport him away. Law brought Sanji and Caesar to the Sunny, and told the Straw Hats to use his Vidra card to take Caesar to Zoe. The Sunny then came under attack by both Doflamingo and a floating marine battleship commanded by Fujitora, who threw a meteor at the Sunny. Law redirected the meteor back with the battleship, and Sanji noted that he seemed to be giving Doflamingo an unusual amount of attention when their main goal was just to destroy the Smile Factory. Law turned his attention to Doflamingo and told the Straw Hats to go where there were no clouds, as Doflamingo could not fly there with his Ito no Mi ability. The Sunny then escaped with two to burst while Law took Viola hostage and confronted Doflamingo on the bridge. There, he said that he was ending the alliance with the Straw Hats, as his main goal was to bring Doflamingo down to avenge what happened 13 years ago. Law let Viola run off as he and Doflamingo started fighting again, and on Dressrosa, Violet headed for the palace. Outside the Corrida Coliseum, Zoro and Kimini got Bartolomeo to get Luffy to come see them. In the arena, Rebecca did well as she dodged attacks and made people fall out of the ring to eliminate them without attacking. Elsewhere, Sai was put on a table for his injuries to be treated, only to be sent into a pit filled with broken toys alongside the other losers from B and C blocks. There, Tang Claypinto wondered if Ricky was actually the former king of Dressrosa, Riku Doldo III, and Ricky confirmed this. The gladiators reflected on the increased conflict that happened after Doflamingo took power due to his underworld operations, even though the name of Riku was now reviled. In Flower Hill, the dwarves told the Straw Hats about how the Riku family liberated them after taking power 800 years ago, only for Doflamingo to come back and restore the Dongwixop family's subjugation. Thunder Soldier revealed that an accident 10 years ago caused the people of Dressrosa to lose King Riku's trust and revile his family, saying that he wished to protect Rebecca because he was her real father. 10 years ago, Dressrosa was poor but peaceful, and no man had begun working as a mega palace. One night, Doflamingo came up to King Riku and claimed the throne, offering to let Doldo buy back his kingdom for Peli 10 billion. Rather than fight, Doldo decided to try collecting the money, although Doflamingo did not allow him to reveal his presence. The royal army went out to collect money from the citizens, and out of faith in the king, they gave all they had. However, Doflamingo took control of Doldo and some soldiers and forced them to attack their subjects, leaving them aghast at their king betraying their trust. Meanwhile, Nami led the Dongwixop pirates into the palace, and they captured the Princess Viola. As Dodo continued attacking his people, Doflamingo, Tribo, Taika, and Diamante came and stopped him, as well as taking down the royal army. They claimed to be the saviors of Dressrosa, and were welcomed by the people. Doldo survived due to Viola promising to serve Doflamingo in exchange, and she took the name Violet. Some of the army, such as Tank Lay Pinto, joined Doflamingo. The dwarves quickly learned the truth once they became subjugated again, and had decided to move against Doflamingo today as a result of their despair after Doflamingo's false abdication that morning. In the pit under the Colosseum, Sai was suddenly pulled up by Trevor, where he was turned into a toy and forced to follow the Blackwood South Pirates' orders. This happened to all the gladiators except Chinjal and Doldo, who no longer remembered the others. Up above, the convict gladiators told Luffy that although Dressrosa appeared prosperous and peaceful at first, further exploration of it revealed a dark side hidden away. In Flower Hill, the soldiers stated that Doflamingo had created numerous tragedies by having anyone who went against him turned into toys, causing them to no longer be remembered. Outside the Colosseum, Bastile's Marines grew confused at the list of the criminals inside, as they no longer remembered who most of them were. On the bridge, Law continued fighting Doflamingo, who received a call from Diamante about Viola betraying them. Doflamingo told him to send the Colosseum fighters to the Smile Factory, leaving him solely responsible for the Colosseum. At the Colosseum, Luffy reunited with Zoro and Kinnaman, and they called the rest of the crew. Frankie told everyone about the dwarves' plan, saying he could not leave them to lose against Doflamingo, and so Sanji decided to turn the Sunny team back to help the crew take down the Shishibukai. At the coast, Fujitora headed for the town after hearing about a fight happening there. A ruckus rose near the Colosseum as Doflamingo and Law came into the town, with Doflamingo having overpowered Law. Doflamingo then shot Law 3 times with a gun, defeating him. Zoro and Kinnaman charged at Doflamingo, but Zoro was met by Fujitora, who sent him falling into a hole. Doflamingo attacked Kinnaman, and as the two swordsmen recovered, they discovered that the blind man they had met was an admiral. Doflamingo and Fujitora then flew back to the palace with Law in tow. Zoro and Kinnaman were pursued by Bastile's platoon, and as they ran, Zoro told Luffy to find a way out. Right then, the Sunny came under pursuit by the Big Mom pirates ship, with Caesar revealing that they were looking for him because he owed Big Mom money. The Sunny team decided it might be a good idea to continue towards Zo in order to keep Caesar and Momonosuke out of Doflamingo's hands, and leave the rest of the crew with the chance Law gave them to destroy the Smile Factory. Luffy agreed to this, and also allowed the Sunny team to strike back against the Big Mom pirates while he, Zoro, and Kinnaman went to rescue Law and take down Doflamingo. As this happened, Bellamy had approached Luffy to carry out his assassination mission, only to be confronted by Dalinger. He revealed that Doflamingo believed he would fail again and so ordered him to be killed. Dalinger severely injured Bellamy, but was stopped by Bartolomeo, and forced to go with Lauji to the Smile Factory. Bartolomeo said he would not let a comrade die without helping, and Luffy came running and looking for an exit. Bellamy said there was none, and wished to leave as well to meet with Doflamingo. Bartolomeo agreed to win the Mera no Mi for Luffy, but a mysterious man said he could not let that happen as he approached the three. Luffy recognized the man as his long-lost brother Sabo, who was now the second in command of the Revolutionary Army, and Sabo gave Luffy an escape route. Luffy cried non-stop as he, Zoro, and Kinnaman headed for the palace in animal disguised, and inside the Colosseum, Sabo donned Luffy's Lucy disguise as he contacted Koala, who was also in the Revolutionaries, as she moved around Dressrosa's underground while he sought to win the Mera no Mi and inherit Ace's will. In the Flower Hill, Thunder Soldier unveiled Operation Sop, a plan to destroy Doflamingo's underground port and remove the Donghuaxia pirates from power. First, however, they would need to knock out Sugar, the person who had been turning people into toys with the Hobi no Mi, in order to free the toys and restore people's memories of them, which would unleash chaos across Dressrosa. They headed to the port through an underground tunnel, and since Frankie could not fit through it, he decided to enter through the toy house and create a distraction. He took on the group led by saying "You're pink" at the east door, and blue in the entrance with coup de vent. Meanwhile, Usopp found out about the forces guarding the toy house as his group reached the underground port. Thunder Soldier then left for the palace in order to assassinate Doflamingo once Operation Suck was completed, leaving Usopp with a mission to knock out Sugar. the dwarves revealed that Sugar was being protected by Treble in the executive tower in the center of the port, when some Dongquixop pirates discovered Usopp. As they confronted him, the dwarves stripped them before Leo and Rompo knocked them out, and Usopp and Robin donned disguises as they headed for the executive tower. In the Colosseum, 30 fighters were left in D block as Suleiman confronted Rebecca. Cavendish, Orlumbus, Damas, and Mummy also emerged as standouts. Suddenly, Cavendish fell asleep, and his alter ego Hakuba awakened. Hakuba struck down all the remaining fighters in an instant, and only Rebecca was able to dodge enough to be only slightly harmed. Hakuba fell asleep, and Rebecca got up, becoming the winner of D-Block. The audience protested Rebecca's victory as the final round now approached. Diamante was announced to be taking part in the final round, and Rebecca noticed that someone else was disguised as Lucy. The 4 contestants then headed back into the ring. Some D-Block contestants raced in, angry at the results and wanting to challenge Rebecca again. However, Diamante stopped them with a piece of steel he turned into a cape with the power of the Hira no Mi before hitting them with a bull-shaped glaive. The gladiators were then attacked by the special new fighting fish in the water, which could leap up to attack the people in the arena. On the back of one of the fish was a chest containing the Mary no Mi, and the 5-person battle royale began. Burgess unleashed a massive attack on a fighting fish in the audience when the fish with the Mary no Mi popped up. Sabo leapt on its back, and Diamante attacked him, but Sabo shattered the executive sword in 2. Burgess then prepared to attack Sabo, but Sabo countered his blow with his hand, and his fighting style made Diamante suspicious. Rebecca then attacked Diamante, but LeBlanc did nothing as he hit her with a wrist. Sabo told Bartolomeo to protect Rebecca, and Diamante revealed to her that he was the one who killed her mother. Inside the throne room, Doflamingo had Doldo brought before him, boasting that the efforts to oppose him would be in vain as Law and the Straw Hats were in the process of faltering. Unaware that anyone knew about his underground port or Sugar's location, Fujitora then came in, saying that while he would assist Doflamingo in opposing the Straw Hats in order to protect Dressrosa, he was not fully on the Shishibukai side. Fujitora noted that Doflamingo's activities had been suspicious, and revealed his intention to bring an end to the Shishibukai system. This caused Doflamingo to attack him, but the two quickly stopped fighting in order to attend to business. Senior Pink gave Frankie a stiff challenge with his Suai no Mi powers, although displayed many odd quirks. Mishvice then attacked Frankie by increasing his weight and slamming into the ground, and Bastille's forces arrived to confront Frankie as well. Despite being overwhelmed, Frankie committed to his task of taking down all his attackers, but despite his best efforts, he was defeated. Outside the palace, Wicked guided Luffy, Zoro, and Kunaman as they prepared to enter, and Viola approached them to help them get in. Since they would draw suspicion by taking the lift, Viola guided them to a secret staircase, but rather than use that, the Straw Hats went up using the chamber's pulley. After going up, Viola prepared to take them to a secret rampart entrance, but Luffy punched through the main gate instead. The guards reported to Doflamingo about Luffy's intrusion, and the Shishibukai was taken aback as he saw the disguised Sabo on the Colosseum feed. While they were inside, Luffy, Zoro, Kunaman, and Viola were quickly confronted by Pika, who had become a giant stone man with the power of the Ishi Nami. By assimilating with the stone in the palace, Pika pulled the walls onto the intruders. Zoro stayed behind to confront Pika while Luffy and Viola went through the moving corridors, and Zoro could not find Pika's real body. Some of the Dongquixop pirates went up to confront Frankie, and Thunder Soldier and Kabu sneaked into the lift they were on before the former attacked them with his sheer speed. However, Lao Ji was on the lift as well, and overpowered both the soldier and Kabu. He beat up Thunder Soldier the rest of the ride, and Kabu then led some dwarves to take on Lao Ji while he and Ranpo took the soldier to the throne room. However, they were confronted by Gladius, who used the Kamikaze no Mi to rupture his forearms and injure the dwarves in the explosions. He then grabbed the soldier and was about to rupture him before being attacked by Luffy, and Luffy and Viola took the soldier away. Gladius attacked them with shrapnel, and Luffy burst out the window and pulled the three of them to the second floor. Gladius then encountered Kinemon disguised as Doflamingo, and Kinemon discovered that Kanjuro had escaped from the scrap heap in the toy house. Luffy, Viola, and Thunder Soldier hid underneath the window of the throne room, where they heard Doflamingo interrogating Law about the Straw Hat's actions with the Tontatta. Thunder Soldier remembered his past life as the legendary gladiator Kairos. As a boy, he was a violent criminal who grew up in the slums, but King Riku gave him the opportunity to fight in the Colosseum for his freedom. Kairos stayed in the Colosseum and won thousands of matches without being defeated, even taking down fighters who came from afar. However, he was depressed that he would forever be seen as a killer. After defeating Doldo himself in his 3000th match, Doldo made Kairos commander of his army. As commander, Kairos saved the Princess Scarlet, Viola's older sister, from a pirate crew. She fell in love with him afterwards, having her death staged so she could live with him. The two had Rebecca, but Kairos refused to touch her with his blood-stained hands. When Doflamingo took over Dressrosa, Kairos went to the royal palace to rescue King Riku, where sea stone chains were wrapped around his leg. He cut his leg off to attack Doflamingo, but was turned into a toy by Sugar. He managed to escape with Doldo, but was left with no one remembering him as he watched his wife die and raised Rebecca as the Thunder Soldier. Back in the present, Gladius group approached the soldier, Luffy, and Viola. In the port, Robin and Usopp watched as Sugar turned Cavendish into a toy and forced him to work with the other gladiators in the port, and Leo unveiled the Tatabasco, the hottest spice in the world, which they planned to hide among Sugar's grapes in order to knock her out. Leo then went up to Sugar with the Tatabasco, but when Robin saw Treble hit a fly with a fast and precise mucus shot, she held Leo back, saying that even he would have been caught by Treble. As the Tontatta's comrades were being forced to work in the Smile Factory under the lie that they were finding a cure for Mancheri, Robin went up to Treble, claiming that there was a problem with the crew at the port in order to lead him away from the tower. When Treble was gone, the dwarves confronted Sugar and prepared to forcibly knock her out, but Sugar turned all of the attacking dwarves into toy bears, forcing them to attack their comrades who no longer remembered them. She then told Treble that she was under attack, and after briefly checking on Robin's problem, Treble attacked Robin and tried trapping her in mucus with the Beta Beta no Mi. Although found out that the Robin who went with him was a clone, he then responded to Sugar's distress by throwing his ship at the executive tower. Treble caught the Tontattas and learned about their plan, and he attacked them by lighting the mucus they were stuck to. Usopp went to Leo and told him to run away, but Leo replied that the soldier would definitely defeat Doflamingo if they accomplished this. He had faith in the soldier, as he was the only toy not under Sugar's contract and was formerly the legendary Kairos. However, the dwarves were decimated by Treble and Robin was turned into a toy by Sugar after trying to attack her, and Usopp decided to run away rather than confront the Donquixote pirates alone. However, he overheard the dwarves calling out his name as they told Treble that he would come to rescue them, and Treble mocked them as he started stepping on them. Usopp came back, confessing to the dwarves his true identity and saying he was no hero, but would become his now as he shot Treble with a pop green shuriken. After a brief battle, Usopp was defeated, and Sugar decided to torture him by feeding him the Tatabasco. However, the Tatabasco caused Usopp to make a terrible expression which frightened Sugar so much that she fell unconscious. With Sugar knocked out, the toys around Dressrosa returned to their human forms, and the people's memories of the toys returned, causing Dressrosa to fall into chaos. In the underground fort, the dwarves celebrated Usopp's actions, and in the palace, Thunder Soldier transformed back into Kairos. In the Colosseum as chaos erupted in the audience, Rebecca remembered that she had a father as Sabo decided to end the match, using Ryosoka to shatter the arena. He then looked up to the fish carrying the Marinara no Mi and ate the fruit, before grabbing Rebecca and using Hyken to punch through the bottom of the Colosseum. Country Dean grabbed Usopp and held him up before the other freed toys, who rejoiced in their savior as the ceiling gave in and the Colosseum fighters fell in. Diamante found himself under attack by the Free Toys, while Rebecca and Bartolomeo discovered Sable's true identity as Sable reunited with Koala and Hat. They revealed that they had come to find and stop Doflamingo's underworld weapons trade for the Revolutionary Army. Diamante and Treble worked together to stop the Free Toys from attacking the Smile Factory. And Robin reunited with the revolutionaries as Kinami escaped down to the underground port and reunited with his allies. In the palace, Haika abandoned his fight with Zoro. In the throne room, after returning to his human form, Kairos charged at Doflamingo as Dodo and Viola regained their memories of him. Kairos then decapitated Doflamingo as Luffy raced in to rescue Law. As Kairos took out several of Doflamingo's men including Buffalo and freed Dodo, Luffy worked to free Law from his sea stone handcuffs. However, Pika then arrived, and Doflamingo was revealed to still be alive as he stated that he would have to use the birdcage. As Kairos attacked him, the real Doflamingo swooped in to kill him, but Luffy pulled him out of harm's way. Luffy fought the two Doflamingos but was overpowered, with the decapitated Doflamingo being revealed to be a string clone. On Doflamingo's command, Pika forced Luffy, Law, Kairos, Viola, and Dodo outside as Doflamingo's string clone transformed into a cage of strings that surrounded the entire island. With the bird cage surrounding the island, no one could get out. Communications to the outside world were cut off, and Doflamingo took control of some people and caused them to attack others. Pika then changed the layout of the island, placing the palace on top of Flower Hill and bringing the Smile Factory above ground. Doflamingo then proclaimed to his citizens that he had a game for them. They could either kill him, or bring in his enemies for a monetary reward. He put bounties on the Straw Hats, Law, Kinemon, Kairos, Dodo, Viola, Rebecca, and Sabo, and Usopp. The Marines worked to protect the people of Dressrosa as the free gladiators emerged from below the Colosseum, including Maynard. Maynard reported to Fujitora about Doflamingo's illegal dealings, but Fujitora questioned the world government's role in dealing with this. On top of the palace, the Donquixote pirates met to discuss their situation, with Doflamingo being confident that they would dispose of everyone in their way. Pika offered to dispose of them himself, and one of the pirates laughed, causing him to be shot by Baby 5 before Pika could become enraged. Doflamingo warned his lower-ranking crew to not make fun of the officers, whom he considered his family. Afterwards, Senor Pink, Mishvais, and Donner returned to the place where they fought Frankie, only to find out he escaped. As Frankie ran discreetly toward the Smile Factory, Luffy, Zoro, and Law landed in front of the three Donquixote officers. Senor Pink, Mishvais, and Donner were joined by some citizens as they attacked Luffy, Zoro, and Law, but the latter three managed to avoid the attacks and ran off, though only to be confronted by Fujitora. Zoro briefly clashed with the Admiral, but they were soon interrupted by Pika, who had become a massive stone behemoth. Luffy laughed profusely at Pika's voice, causing the executive to punch him with his massive stone fist. The punch shook the ground and sent Luffy, Zoro, and Law flying all the way to the Colosseum. There, they encountered Cavendish, who had put aside his hatred of Luffy and wanted to defeat Doflamingo. Cavendish was soon joined by the Chinjao family, Petruddin, Elisabello, Dagama, Abdullah, Jeet, Orlumbus, Ideo, Suleiman, and Blue Gilly, and they all wanted to take down Doflamingo themselves, causing an argument to break out. However, when some other gladiators came to capture Luffy, Zoro, and Law, the group quickly came together to beat them off. Luffy then reunited with Uzi, and led the charge to the palace despite everyone continuing to argue over Doflamingo. Pika and his subordinates saw them coming, and Pika tried attacking them again, only to have his stone arm shattered by Chinjao and Elisabello. Pika quickly improved his arm and attacked again, but Luffy managed to ride Uzi onto his other arm, with Abdullah and Jeet having joined him, Zoro, and Law on the bull's back. Pika prepared to attack them, but Luffy shattered his head with a gear third punch. Pika's real body then emerged in front of the bull riders and he tried attacking them with a giant sword, but Luffy helped Uzi dodge it and Zoro confronted Pika, allowing the others to continue toward Doflamingo. Since Rika's stone body was no longer inhabited, the other gladiators went after Luffy, and as they drew closer to the palace, Law revealed to Luffy that he wanted to take down Doflamingo to avenge an important person to him called Corazon, who was Doflamingo's real brother but was killed by him 13 years ago. In the streets below, Kairos moved past the citizens who were trying to capture him. Meanwhile, Usopp, Robin, Rebecca, Bartolomeo, Hack, and the Tontatters ran away from the citizens through the Coliseum stands, and Hack noticed that Sabo had ran off. They managed to get to safety on the King's Plateau, where they encountered Doldo, Viola, and Tank Lepanto. Viola revealed that she had the key to Law's sea stone handcuffs, and Doldo was initially wary about trusting pirates to help them, but Viola assured him that Luffy's intentions were genuine. Rebecca offered to take the key to Law, and Leo offered to help her get to the palace by going across rooftops with him and Cobra accompanying her. Frankie prepared to blow open the entrance to the Smile Factory, but was attacked by Senor Pink, who came to settle the score between them. As they fought, the Tontatters arrived and worked to find a way to get into the factory. Bian used her pink beads to fly over the roof, and after getting the enslaved dwarves' attention, she revealed to them that the Dongquixote pirates had been lying to them about Manchuria. Believing their comrades, the dwarves began attacking their overseers. Led by Manchuri's aide Majian, they broke into the room labeled as Manchuri's, but found it was only a storage room. They then went to open the main doors, and Frankie distracted Senor Pink by saying there was an old woman in danger, allowing him and the Tontatters to get in the factory. The factory manager Kieran arrived to attack the dwarves with her vacuum cleaner, but was stopped when Frankie hugged her. Senor Pink then returned after discovering Frankie's deception, and Frankie suplexed Kieran into him. This made Kieran angry, but Frankie silenced her by kissing her, making her flustered. Senor Pink agreed with Frankie's course of action, and Kieran and Pink's entourage swooned over the men as they resumed their battle.
見せてやる。蹴りをつけよう。やっほっとやっほったやっほっとやっほったやっほっとルフィが助けを求めたら必ず駆けつける。もう二度とあんな思いは。これ以上の質問は野暮なようだ。やっほったやっほっとそりゃお前を倒す。やっ勝負ほっやったほっやっとほっやっほらほっやった命を無駄にしなさんだ。ほっやったほっやっとほっやったほっやっと勝負ほっやったいかんとほらやった見せてやる。ほっやっとほっやっとほっやった海軍はこの国じゃヒーローになれねえんですよ。あっしはあんたに阻まれただけだ。
まるで博打だな。
鳥かごはゆっくりと収縮を続けている。中にいる人間を皆殺しにするために。そうなる前にドフラミンゴをぶっ飛ばしてこの戦いにケリをつけるぞ。
ねえ王宮に向かおうよ。お父様もそこに向かってる気がするの。
そこまで。
おい、なんだありゃ。
ファミリーに盾つく者たちは俺が相手になろう。石像め、忌々しい攻撃だ。仕方ない、別々のルートで王宮に攻め込もう。
遠くの敵は任せてくんろ。全身全霊でルフィ先輩をお助けするべ。
こんにゃろ。よし、俺たちはこのまままっすぐだ。ルフィの元へは行かせねえ。
くそ、邪魔な野郎。これを止めねえと王宮へは行けねえぞ。
レッドホーヘッドバズーカ。
俺が相手だ。ソプラの野郎、そのどでけえ図体切り刻んでやるよ。
ここはドン・キホーテの国だ。
本体は必ずこの中にいるはずだ。攻撃をかいくぐって顔面を狙うか。拉致が開かねえ。こうなったら大技で奴の体勢を崩す。
うわー、生意気なヨロブは。
よし、今だ。奴の顔面を狙え。
お前を倒して俺がゲームを終わらせてやるよ。
ルフィに盾つく者は許さん。ヘッドバズーカ。行くぞ。レッドホー。油断した。だがまだ終わらねえ。石の中に生き埋めにしてやる。
ようやくお出ましだな。
刻まれて
会いたかったぜ。
ルフィ先輩のお役に立てるなら決して本望だべ。
レッドホー。レッドホ
てめえらどきやがれ。工場ぶっ壊せねえだろうが。今の俺は超スーパー。てめえらごときには止められねえよ。よーし、あの糸を食い止めんぞ。
反逆者ども、
貴様らがこうしている間も刻一刻と終焉の時が迫っているぞ。
自由でなんぼの人間様じゃい。鳥かごを押せ。
レッドホーふざけるな。少し追い詰めたぐらいで調子に乗るな。お前らはここで必ず始末してやる。よし、先へ進むぞ。レッドホー。
ルビー、俺はあの糸を止めに行く。時間を稼げるかもしれねえ。
前へ進みドフラミンゴを討ち取るんだ。僕らは決して負けやしない。
何、あの大きな人形。
頭割り人形だ。ドフラミンゴのやつファミリーまでもおもちゃにしたのか。
たかだか人間一人の能力だ。止まらねえ方が俺には不条理だ。
レッドホー。レッドホー。
聞いた。ミンゴのいる王宮。
この戦場にきっとお父様も来てる。レッドホー。
誰か来たな。お前か。
ディアマンテ。よかったなレベッカ、父ちゃんに会えて。
ドフラミンゴは任せていいか。
もちろんだ。レッドホ
一応聞いておこうか。ここに何をしに来た。
ー。お前をぶっ飛ばしにだ。
失望したよ。おい、お前が相手しよう。
麦わらや、そいつは操られた。止めたかった。意識を失うまでぶっ飛ばせ。
できるわけねえ。友達だ。レッドホー。レッドホー。
人形の方か。本体はどこだ。
エラミ、あまりとかばるにはまだ早いぞ。お前のくらい俺の役に立ってみせろ。逃げてみろ。
あいつを助けたいならそれを操るやつドフラミンゴを叩け。
レッドバズーカ。レッドホー。
これで終わりだ。オーバーヒート。
レッドバズーカ。レッドホー。
お前らその程度の攻撃で俺の首を取れるというのか。
エラミー、許さねえぞドフラミンゴ。ジャットフィップル。ミンゴ出てこい。
猛獣が吠えてやがる。いいだろう、麦わら。ゲームを終わらせるでしょう。甘い。
セルベ刻んでやる。
なんとジェットシェル。
みんな死ぬ。遅かれ早く町も人もお前の仲間たちもお前も全てだ。逃げてみろ。
リンゴ、お前をぶっ飛ばしゃ済む話だろうが。
それができねえって話をしたつもりだったが。おいおい、何の冗談だ。ゴムの弾力でまともに立つこともできなくなったか。能力をよく使いこなしているようだが、あと何秒持つんだ。悪魔の実の能力にまだ覚醒という上のステージがあるんだ。能力は稀に覚醒し、己以外にも影響を与え始める。
建物が糸になった。パラミシアじゃねえみたいだ。
俺を怒らせ
エオレックスバズーカ。噛んでもお前は手の中に閉じ込めて、どいつもこいつも操ろうとするから。俺は
ルフィたちはドン・キホーテファミリーとの死闘を制し、ドレスローザはドフラミンゴの支配から解放された。麦わらの一味とサボは海軍の捜索を避けるため、町外れにあるキュロスの小屋にかくまわれ、体を休めていた。
起きねえな、ルフィのやつ。
戦いの疲れが溜まっているのよ。そっとしておきましょう。
にしてもエースの他に3人目の兄弟がいたとはな。
まったくだ、初耳だぜ。
だろうな。一番驚いたのはルフィだろう。
そいつはどういうことだ。
俺はずっと死んだことになってたんだ。ガキの頃エースルフィと3人で暴れ回って、将来は海賊だって俺たちは兄弟の杯を酌み交わしたんだ。だけど両親に無理やり連れ戻された俺はたまらず海に出て事故に遭った。いや、事件か。革命軍に助けられていなければ死んでいただろうな。その時にそれまでの記憶を失ったんだ。
それで革命軍に。よく記憶が戻ってな。
頂上戦争の後、エースの訃報を見て全部思い出した。エースとルフィが俺の大事な兄弟だったこともな。それでエースのメラメラの実を手に入れるため、革命軍全軍に協力してもらって今に至るというわけだ。じゃあ帰る。ルフィの顔も見たし。
もう？
ああ、ドラゴンさんにもいい土産話ができた。ルフィには手焼くだろうが、よろしく頼むよ。
おう、任しとけ。
エースと似たようなこと言ってやがる。
キュロスがいる丘までの道を俺が作る。邪魔なやつを倒したらあとは自分で行け。分かった。
あれはレベッカ様と麦わら、まさか麦わらのやつ。海軍全体、レベッカ様がさらわれた。至急麦わらを捕らえろ。
麦わら、この一大事に君はどこへ。まあいい、こちらは脱出の準備を進めよう。まずは海軍の動きを鈍らせようか。物資を破壊すれば奴らは必ず混乱する。
よし、これで邪魔なやつは片付いた。それじゃあ行ってこいレベッカ。
ありがとうルーシー。
レベッカ、よし、俺が周囲の敵を引きつけるべ。その間にしっかり動けよキャベツ。
言われなくても分かっているさ。僕は物資の場所を聞き出すとしよう。
追いかけられたら面倒だな。仕方ねえ、この連中も倒しとくか。
キャベツ、おめえもうルフィ先輩に突っかかるんじゃねえべよ。
僕は奴の仲間に命を救われた。恩人の仲間の命、これ以上狙ったりはしない。物資はどこに置いてある。素直に吐くのが身のためだ。
教えるよ、教えるからこれ以上攻撃しないでくれ。海軍、この程度の人数じゃ俺のバリアは止められねえべよ。
なんだと貴様。
見切ってみろ。油断した。
燃料が切れそうだ。この辺で補給しとくか。
よし、まずは一つ破壊完了だ。
おい、俺たちの物資がないぞ。これは一体どういうことだ。
頼もしいわ。
物資の場所を教えるんだ。これ以上切られたくはないだろう。
物資はあそこだ。これでいいんだな。たまれ。
僕の美しさに見とれたか。
そろそろ任務に戻らねば。
この僕にこんな地道な作業をさせるんだ。罪な奴らだな、麦わらの一味。
おお、順調だな。海賊どもめ、物資はあそこだ。
観客がいないといまいち張り合いがないな。さあ次だ。
よし、俺の指示通りだな。
物資はあそこだ。場所は教えたんだ。これ以上俺を攻撃するな。油断した。行くぞ。レッドホー
賞金首のサイボーグフランキーだ。捕らえろ。我々の補給物資を死守するのだ。任務5機は軍機に反する。
レッドホーク、キャットピストル、キャットピストル、キャットピストル、キャットピストル、よっ、レッドホーク、よっ、よっ、レッドホーク、
蹴散らすのみ。
もう一息だ。全て破壊して海軍を動揺させるぞ。
順当に進んでいるらしい。
つい 強すぎる。物資はあそこにあるぞ。
これでしばらくは大丈夫だろう。海軍の動きも鈍くなっているはずだ。
頃合いだな。行くか。
逃げるとすりゃ東の港か。あっしも急いで向かいやすかね。足がつくまでの間、海賊の皆さんにこれでも自走しやしょうか。
空から瓦礫がこんなのまともに食らったらひとたまりもねえべ。
俺たちに悪運があるやつ大丈夫だ。さっさとトンズラこいちまおうぜ。
俺たちが港へ行けばあの瓦礫を止められるんじゃないか。でもこの辺りの道は塞がれてるぞ。これじゃ港まで行けね
八つ咲きにされないよう気をつけて進みましょう。
やっと進めるか。行くぞ。
おいバルトロメオ、僕より目立つな。人気は僕のものだ。
え。そんなこと言ってる場合じゃねえべよ。まったくわがままなキャベツだべ。
おお、助かるぜ。ありがとよ。
お前僕より目立つんじゃない。その派手な見た目早く工面しな。
野郎ども、目標地点まで一目散だ。
やっと通れるようになったか。次行くぞ。
ここまでだ。
助かったわ。ありがとう鶏くん。
なんてありがたいお言葉。こちらこそありがとうだべ、ドビン先輩。おいトラファルガー、お前のためにやってるわけじゃねえぞ。
うるせえな。分かってるよ。
ありがとな。あとは任せたぜ。
君は命の恩人だゴッドウソップ。恩人を助けるのは当然のことだろう。
ありがとう。これでこの国の恩人を助けられる。大将殿、港に市民が押し寄せています。このままでは瓦礫が市民に。
なんだって、そりゃいけねえ。
悪い、助かった。
そうもねえべよ。ゾロ先輩が無事でよかったべ。なんとかお守りできたべ。あとはルフィ先輩だけだとも。どこだべか。
万に一つ逃げたとしてその先に未来はねえ。せめてあっしが地獄へ案内いたしやしょう。
賭博のおっさん、大将だからってこれは逃げねえ。
命を無駄にしなさんだ。
おい、何をしてるんだ麦わらは。
こんな時に何もマジに戦わなくても。
切るぞ、殴るぞ。
何の真似ですかい。さっきから蹴るぞ殴るぞと。
俺は目の見えねえお前を無言でぶっ飛ばすことなんてできねえ。俺おっさん嫌いじゃねえからな。
その情けが何の役に立ちやすか。損ないやしたよ。
俺はもう逃げねえんだ。
恨みと
海軍大将も四皇も全部ぶっ飛ばさなきゃ海賊王にはなれねえ。
言うだけの力はあるようだ。
右手で殴るぞ、ゴムゴムのエレファント
男の戦いには立場ってもんがありやしょう。こっちも我慢して立場貫いてんでさ。恨みと猛虎。
麦わら。
こりゃ感情に怒りのかけらもねえ。みんながお前さんを助けようとすんだね。あんたは一体どんな人だい。優しい顔してんだろうね。